What is going on, guys? Hope everybody's having a great day. We are playing some Dragonheir Silent Gods. This is a sponsored video, so huge shout out to them for sponsoring the video. And you can join D&D Legends in Dragonheir World today. Download using the link in my description as well as the pinned comment. There's also a promo code for you guys to enter as well, so be sure to enter it while it is still active. Game is available on Windows as well as Mac. You can get it on Epic and Steam players as well as iOS and Android mobile platforms. They've got a new D&D collab in the game as of February 23rd now, so it's been a few days, but we have an opportunity to get a D&D legend, Elminster Omar, who has been none short of spectacular. He has been a huge improvement for my account. He is not a 100% game-changing champion. There are other champions that can provide you some of the things that Elminster provides, but for my account in particular, he has absolutely been huge for me. And I'm going to show you another place in the game today that he has, helped me out in. But we have an opportunity to get him from the Planeswalker summoning. There's also an adventure that you go on with Elminster, as well as, some daily quests. Which give you extra sage chest pieces so that you can, get your Elminster. You can make sure you get his artifact as well. But we're going to take a look at some more content using Elminster today. Some content that I actually was not able to do before. And that is going to be Heretical Ruins. I was not able to do stage 9 before adding Elminster into my team. I probably could have figured out another way, but I just hadn't until I got Elminster, and now I'm, pushing stage 9 pretty much everywhere. So let's go ahead and take a look at the team that I'm using. We're going to talk about some substitutes for this team as well, because, you don't necessarily need Erich in there. I'm just using Erich right now because it's faster than when I use the main character, the Traveler. But the Traveler can go in there no problem and still give you the damage you need. So we are actually going to run it with the Traveler just to show you guys. We have Elminster, of course. We also have a Vicuke, we have a Sigrid, and we have Hexandra, who is going to be our tank. Okay, everybody should have their gear on now. I also have all of these skill timings set very specifically, so I will show you that. The boss is on a 24-second rotation, so we want our ultimate abilities to be on a 24-second rotation as well. I have Hexandra on default and the Traveler on default. Whatever DPS you have here can be on default. You kind of want them to, be using their ultimates whenever they can. I want Hexandra healing whenever she can. Vicuke is going to go after the first rotation of the boss, so after the first cycle, because we want him cleansing the burns after the boss uses the ultimate, and then we want him to use that every cycle at the exact same time. I have Elminster and Sigrid going right after the boss spawns the small firebirds, small phoenixes, if you will. So we have attack penalty up, and we have debuffs up right before the boss uses the ultimate ability, because if you do not have attack penalty up, you will wipe. Now this is full auto, we don't have to touch anything, all we have to do is let it run. And like I said, with the Traveler, it is a little bit slower than with Erich. Actually, I think it's like at least a whole minute and a half slower, so it is a bit slower, but it's not the end of the world. And as you can see here, the boss is about to spawn these phoenixes, and we're about to start getting debuffs from Elminster, and Sigrid is going to go as well and use her ultimate there. The boss just used the ultimate, and as you can see, Vicuke is in there to cleanse, and he cleanses right there on time for us. Hexandra's just going to be healing whenever she has her ultimate available. We're getting some shields from Elminster. He's not shielding Hexandra just because she moves up a little bit. She's not all the way in range for his shield, so we have a specific set on her just so that she can continue to heal, which we'll talk about after when we talk about the champs, the gear, and replacements for these champs. But it is a solid team. you can pretty much swap in any DPS. I feel like champs could come in and fulfill these roles very easily. There's also a very specific set that is on Elminster, so we actually have him in a stun set. Hexandra is in not the ancestral protection, the other one. I have to look at it after, just so she's getting some extra healing, some additional healing from the set, because otherwise she will die because she is not being shielded by Elminster. So in order to keep her alive, we need her to have some healing from the set as well. But the team works out beautifully. It works out fine. It is full auto, and it is very easy to do. I feel like it is not that gear intensive, because I didn't really have to switch my gear from what I'm using in other areas of the game. So Hexandra did get new gear for this, and Elminster also got new gear, if you will, for this, where I actually had to go and change the gear that was on them specifically for this. Everybody else though is pretty much in gear that I would normally be running them in other areas of the game. The thing I like about using the Traveler in here, the main character, instead of Erich, even though the fight is faster with Erich, like I can't argue against it. It seems like the Traveler is able to help me to get these Phoenixes down faster, because he just destroys them with his ultimate ability, which I was expecting the Traveler to come in and be a faster run than Erich, but it didn't matter how many times I ran it, it was still faster with Erich. And you know, the numbers are not going to lie. If it's a faster run, it's just a faster run. But we've got the boss under 50% HP now. There's still 3 minutes left in the fight. Plenty of time for us to get the rest of that HP down and kill the boss. And we got these Phoenixes here. As you can see, these guys are stunned because we have Elminster in a stun set. And that's something I'm gonna, talk a bit about more when we get to the sets. But these stuns are helping us so that we don't get all of these stacks of damage, these total damage bonus that start to stack up on the boss when these small Phoenixes use their ultimate abilities. So once their ultimate, energy is fully charged, and a way we can, slow that down is, one, by killing them as soon as we can. So before they're able to cycle through their ultimate energy, and we can also use control, because when they are controlled, their ultimate energy is not moving at all, which is why we have the stun set. But they just gained a bunch of stacks. Actually, they just gained about 7-8 stacks really quickly, so we want to go ahead and kill them. There are other options other than Elminster that are actually better for controlling these side Phoenixes, but I just like using Elminster. It's safe. I don't have to worry about if we got a big hit here or a big hit there, or one smaller where we may be healed a little less and we died for whatever reason. I like using Elminster in there. He's also a part of this elemental affinity for this season, so we get the most out of our affinity bonuses. So it made the most sense. But we will look at some other options. I do want to show a team without Elminster to see how it does exactly. And we're going to be using an epic in there. We're going to be using Zarloth, who is not a part of this elemental affinity at all. We can also use someone like a Latalis in there, who will also provide AoE debuffs to make sure that Sigrid can go and get decreased attack on the boss. So you want to at least make sure that you have a way to get decreased attack on the boss, right? That is why I also have Elminster, because he is providing decreased attack, right, or attack penalty right before the boss uses the ultimate ability. I feel like that is literally the most important part to having a successful run here. Oh my god, my Hexandra died? What? My Hexandra died? No way. All right, let's see if we're still able to beat this. We should still be able to beat this. Everybody else is still alive. Everybody else is still good. The boss is almost dead. Oh my god. And now Sigrid is dead. Everybody's going down. This is not fun. This is not what's supposed to happen. And the boss is dead. All right, nobody was supposed to die there. Not sure what happened, but as you can see, almost a 6-minute run compared to when we run Airage, it's about 2 minutes faster. So let's go in and actually talk about the champs and talk about their gear and who we could potentially replace them with. All right, so we have Elminster here. This is going to be the one that people are going to probably want to replace the most because everybody's not going to get him from the event. But if you have the ability to, I encourage you to definitely get him unless you have a champion that is already fulfilling the roles that he is fulfilling. Go ahead and get him. He's great. So we have him in a Holy Hunter set just because we get an ability to place a stun for 3 seconds whenever he deals damage to an enemy. So him coming in providing the stun for us is allowing us to slow down these corrupted phoenixes when they hatch, and they're going to contribute to the total damage bonus of the boss, and we don't want that to happen. So we're using stuns to try to slow down their ultimate energy so that they're not adding the total damage stacks as fast, and so we have to have that stun. But you can bring in other champions that provide control. Zarloth provides control already, so Zarloth provides fear, which will also slow down the ultimate energy. So you can bring in a champion like Zarloth. You can bring in anyone who is going to provide you with, you know, fears or stuns. I'm not sure how silence might affect it as well. But any of these, you know, control abilities, you want to be placing those so you can like stop their ultimate energy. It gives you some extra time to kill them as well. As far as cleansers, we are using Vicuke, but you can use any cleanser that cleanses AoE, right? So if we go look at champions, right, let's look for any champion that is going to dispel debuffs, right? So you have someone like Inna who you can use, who is going to cleanse 1 debuff from everyone, and that is all you need because the boss is only placing 1 single debuff. So you only need someone to come in and place cleanse 1 single debuff. Nathaniel is also an option, even though it is on his battle skill, so we don't have, you know, control over it. He is still an option. Hexandra we're already using. She's going to be doing a single target, but there could be, you know, some other champions that I don't have on my account that you have that are able to come in and provide you with this cleanse. Now, the other thing that we, you know, absolutely need is attack penalty, right? Like I said before, and that's why we're using Elminster. He's providing attack penalty for us. Sigrid is also providing attack penalty when she uses her ultimate ability, but if you don't want to use Elminster, you can bring in, you know, any champion that provides you with attack penalty. There is a ton of them in the game, so bring in somebody that can either provide AoE debuffs for you so that you can use Sigrid for attack penalty, or bring in someone else to provide attack penalty reliably, because you are going to absolutely need it right before the boss uses the ultimate energy. So any champ that provides attack penalty, Vicuke is also placing attack penalty for us. So in this comp, we actually have it quite a bit throughout the fight. We pretty much have perma attack penalty, right? And their gear doesn't matter as much. It's just, you know, the stun set on Elminster and Hexandra, who is in a Radiance set, right? So she gets the extra healing, heals by 20% of her max HP after she unleashes her ultimate ability. So she's getting an additional heal on top of the heal that she is providing with her ultimate, just because we got to keep her alive. But you guys saw in that last run she died, and I'm gonna do another run. We're gonna swap out the Traveler for Erich, and we might swap out Elminster as well, but we will need someone to provide AoE debuffs before the boss uses the ultimate ability. That way we can be using Sigrid as our attack penalty champion, right? Because we want to make sure we're controlling the phoenixes. We want to make sure we have debuffs up so that we can place attack penalty with Sigrid. Otherwise we won't be able to target the boss at certain points, and it's just not gonna work out. We won't get attack penalty. Trust me, I tried it a bunch of times. So let me this is what we have on Sigrid. She just has some attack, some crit rate, a little bit of accuracy here. She's getting a bonus from the affinity bonus, so this is going to take her well over, you know, 200, close to 240 accuracy or so, if not 250, maybe not 250, maybe around 240 accuracy or so with the affinity bonus. A little bit of crit damage, not much. Traveler, similar, you know, he has a little bit of, you know, attack, decent amount of attack. He has crit rate, a little bit of crit damage, not much. So these are the stats that are on them. The artifacts, these artifacts don't matter as much. You probably don't need them. I'm not sure. I think I just put this on him for the defensive stats that he gets. She has on the Platinum Knight shield just so she can have, you know, reduced AoE damage. Not even sure if this boss does AoE damage in between. I did not check the skills. I just put it on her as a reflex because I've been putting it on all my tanks. Now the Crown of the Unclean is very helpful because it's going to let you get some extra damage up. This is one of the few epic artifacts I would say is almost necessary in just about every fight, just so you can speed up things, and it should be relatively easy to get. I feel like if you have a choice to go get an epic artifact, this should be like the first one that you get, and everybody should be able to get a few epic artifacts even as a free to play. This is not a whale account or anything like that. I have just played through an entire season, and so I've pulled so many dupe epics that I was able to actually go and buy every epic artifact, just because for whatever reason the game doesn't want to give me like new epics that often. So I pull pretty much the same epics over and over. Still don't have quite a few of the ones that I want, but that's going to be all for this one. Hopefully this video helps you out. Hopefully you're able to, you know, beat stage 9 of the Heretical Ruins, and be sure to, you know, join D&D Legends in Dragonheir World today. Download using the link in my description as well as the pinned comment. Thank you guys for watching though. Thank you for your support as always, and until next time, be good and be well.